Welcome to the BarberShop. This is a very impromptu mini episode, as I call it. Today is a special day. In my office, I have my first boss ever, someone who had a massive impact on me. I was 22 years old at the time. I was interning during my business school at IIM Lucknow. Between first and second year, you have a 2-month internship. तो वो 2 महीने की internship मैंने Nokia कंपनी में की थी. At that time, Nokia was India's #1 mobile company, and I did an internship in sales where my mentor, my boss, the person I reported to, Karan Abhishek Singh, was my first boss ever. And I'll talk more about the project I did separately. But he is here, and we were having lunch today, and he came to the office to see me. Karan, welcome to the BarberShop and to Bombay Shaving Company. क्या लग रहा है आपको यहाँ पे? To see what I don't know, kind of followed this from a distance, but what do you think about the place?
Shantanu, thank you so much for that fantastic introduction. You brought back so many memories. क्या लग रहा है? When I look at you, लगता है ये तो मेरा बच्चा और फिर इस बच्चे का बच्चा देख रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. I think you've done a fantastic winter. I think I've told you in the past. I'm just so proud of everything you've done, the way you've created Bombay Shaving Company and the sister concerns now. It's just so heartening, and I keep telling you, you're too kind, you're biased, you give me too much credit. But I'd like to believe कि 1% भी कुछ मैंने जो सिखाया अगर वो तुम्हारे काम आया, I think it's fantastic. I'm just thrilled to be here, sitting here, and you guys have a beautiful office.
Thank you so much. Actually, for me, mentorship has played a very critical role, and you were kind of the one who seeded it for me. You gave me, I remember, आपने मेरे को clearly, you gave me a project, you explained to me the problem statement, and then you told me that you pulled me in when required, you made the right connections, you connected me to the distributor in Delhi, Adani. So by the way, for you guys, my project was to create a standard operating procedure for the distributors of Nokia in India, okay? Which basically meant that Nokia would sell their phone. At that time, I think HCL was the
master distributor. Yeah.
It was a master distributor concept. So we had to, Nokia would manufacture the phone, sell it to a master distributor, and then the distributor would sell it to multiple distributors, koi Ghaziabad mein, koi Delhi mein, koi Surat mein, koi Bangalore mein. And then they would sell it to retailers, and then retailers would sell it to consumers. There was no concept of e-commerce. So it was and to manage the distribution, it involved working capital management, making sure that receivables were collected, making sure that sales force was incentivized, making sure that we were beating competition. So it was important that all the distributors worked in a standard, consistent way, which I think was something which we wanted to do. And as a intern, I tried to create a SOP which kind of drafted out all the ways to do it. But I think over those 2 months, something about mentoring which Karan, you taught me was empowerment, which is I will lay down the foundations of the problem statement, and then you go and do it. I'll make the connection. You connect to all the people in Bangalore, the Ahmedabad distributor. I don't forget their names now. आप सबसे जाके सीखो, 1 महीना पूरा सीखो, और फिर then you come back and then you will work with Vipul and Vishesh, who was Chandana, Vikesh, you, me, Gunjan, कि हम लोग उसको करके, and then at the end I present it to share with colleagues and everyone, and then but I remember that empowering people by giving clarity and then letting them feel that go make mistakes. No mistake is something I cannot correct, was something which you taught me, which I have tried to imbibe in my own leadership style. But talk a little bit about that, which I experienced firsthand.
Okay, thank you. I think Shantanu, bada interesting because yesterday only I was speaking with a group of young boys and girls who recently joined a marketing team, and I was giving them exactly this kind of example. I said, by and large, pehli cheez, as a slide aside, you address a group of team leaders, okay, people managers, and ask them to self-introspect and tell you how many of you do you feel that you're not great people leaders. Yeah. Nobody will raise their hand, right? Everybody thinks they are God's gift to their teams, right? So that's obviously the standard operating manual for all managers. I think what differentiates leaders is, one way of saying and empowering their teams is saying, go ahead, do what you feel like doing, or मैं बैठा हूँ तुम्हारे लिए, ठीक है? The other piece is taking it a step forward. go ahead, and what you're talking about, go ahead, do what you think is right, and feel free to make a mistake.
Correct.
When you make a mistake, please find a solution to it.
Correct.
Basis what you think is right. Go ahead, learn from it, correct it, do it. Okay? If you need to ask me something, come and ask me, but own this completely. Make whatever correction is required to be made. Go ahead and do it. क्या होगा? एक गलती करोगे, but what I will ensure is you will not repeat that mistake again.
That's so true.
Yeah. But if I keep stepping in, saying, मैं बैठा हूँ तेरे लिए, तू कर, जैसी तू गलती करेगा मैं वापस आ जाऊँगा. I will do it for you. No, sorry. Then I'm impeding your development, right? So I'm saying, go ahead, make that mistake. Fine. So to my mind, I think that is the crux of mentorship. And I was lucky in my early part of my career. I worked with this great organization, GE, right? And Jack Welch had just retired, so I was reading his book. We were all gifted that book straight from the gut. So Jack Welch and a legendary leader in his own right, 20 years of working in GE and then 20 years as the CEO of the company. So in his interview, he defined leadership in words to that effect. What I'm kind of saying, if by virtue of your leadership you get the people around you to deliver more than what they thought was possible consistently, and in doing so, they generate more rewards and self-respect for themselves, your job as a leader is done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was sound profound, but with all humility and all earnestness, that is something I've reminded myself. I have had the opportunity of leading large teams from a very early age. I've been lucky to do that. And I've always kind of tried to imbibe this saying, what is happiness? Happiness, पैसा ज़्यादा दे दो, ये certificate दे दो, कर दो, वो उतना नहीं है. जो अपना achievement better करने से जो self satisfaction आता है, उससे जो kick आती है, I think your job as a leader is.
It's very hard to do. You make it sound easy, but it's damn hard to do. I think about this
and you have to be at it continuously, right? Because आज मैंने अपना all time best कर लिया, बस अगले महीने भी करना है. अगर तुम से उसके अगले महीने you need to keep bettering that.
Clock is constantly moving.
That's what I think. You get them in that rhythm. People do it on their own. It's the challenge is to get them to think on those lines.
Amazing. Who's been the best mentor or the most impactful mentor you've had over a 22-year career as a tech?
I've had some great people managers.
But can't you choose one? Most impactful, may not be the best, but the most impactful for you.
Most impactful. So there's this gentleman called Kapil Pillai, right? He was my boss at Godrej, right? And he and I kind of got off to a very stormy relationship.
Okay.
Right? Eventually went on to become great friends. We continue to be great friends. But because our personalities and our strengths were poles apart, it also helped me discover new facets of my own working style, which I didn't know till then. So yeah, gun to my head.
Is he still in Godrej?
No, he's moved on. In fact, he was between jobs. I've not spoken to him in the last couple of months. Last he was with Reckitt and marketing, and after that he's moved on to a new assignment.
Fantastic. So I actually, Karan and I just took 5 minutes from him to get his insights on mentorship today. But this is a trailer or a teaser to a much larger episode that we will do. I think Karan is someone I learned a lot from, and the first is always special, right? So whether it's your first school, your first teacher, your first relationship, your first company, your first boss. For me, you were my first boss, and my first company was actually McKinsey. Like a large part of my institutional growth happened at the firm. So for me, McKinsey remains special, and Karan, of course, remains special. So I promise to bring to the barbershop in a lot more detail over a drink that is a lot more fun than water. Karan in full glory, but for now, this is it. And thank you, Karan. Thank you so much for being so kind and doing this extempore. But we should do this more.
Thank you so much, Shantanu. Love chatting up and reminiscing the old times. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Cool.